Yeah, it's the Breakfast Club, bitches.
Who's Donkey of the Day today?
Well, Ed Sheeran, my guy, Donkey of the Day for Friday, May 3rd, goes to Facebook. Now, if you haven't heard, Facebook is getting serious on hate speech. They have banned some individuals that they feel are dangerous. Let's go to CNN for the report, please.
Facebook is purging several high-profile names from its platforms. Among them, Nation of Islam leader Louis Farrakhan, right-wing conspiracy theorist Alex Jones, as well as his media outlet InfoWars. They're being banned for spreading, quote, dangerous ideology.
Facebook has given us a statement, and they do say in their statement, I'll read part of it to you right now. They say that we've always banned individuals or organizations that promote or engage in violence and hate, regardless of ideology. The process for evaluating potential violators is extensive, and it is what led us to our decision to remove these accounts today. Facebook told me that the process they use is to engage a number of factors. Have they promoted hate speech on Facebook? Have they been banned for violating the rules in the past? Have they self-described themselves as part of a hate movement or hate ideology? Those are the factors that Facebook was weighing, and they're taking this really strict action moments ago.
Interesting. Very interesting. I have thoughts. Now, let's be clear about some things. This isn't about whether I think any of these people who were just named are right or wrong, because as a radio personality, a TV personality, a podcast host, an author, I get paid for my words. I get paid to express myself, okay? I have freedom of thought and freedom of speech. Therefore, when it comes to other people who make a living the same way I do or create change the same way I do with words, and even if I disapprove of what they say, I will defend their right to say it. Listen to what I just said. I can disapprove of what somebody says, but I will defend their right to say it. Now, with that said, even though I disapprove of what Facebook has done, they aren't wrong. See, we are talking about freedom of speech and freedom of expression. What is freedom of speech by definition? It is the right to express any opinion without censorship or restraint. I see people saying things like, Facebook is violating people's rights to free speech. They're violating people's rights to freedom of expression. This is unconstitutional. The First Amendment protects people from this type of censorship. Well, let's read the First Amendment. The First Amendment to the United States Constitution prevents the government from making laws which respect an establishment of religion, prohibit the free exercise of religion, or abridge the freedom of speech, the freedom of the press, or the right to peaceably assemble, or the right to petition the government for redress of grievances. That is the First Amendment. Go read it for yourself. It clearly says the First Amendment to the United States Constitution prevents the government from abridging your freedom of speech. Read it again. Prevents the government from abridging your freedom of speech. Once again, prevents the government from abridging your freedom of speech. The First Amendment prevents the government from abridging your freedom of speech, not Facebook, not Instagram, not Twitter, okay? Not any of these private companies y'all call platforms, just the government. Facebook is a private company, and it can censor anybody they want to, okay? Facebook can do whatever they want, like any private company, okay? It can set the rules on its own property. So even though I don't agree with what Facebook did, okay, I respect their right to do it. They aren't wrong, all right? Now, let me tell you why I don't like what Facebook did, because Facebook is a platform just like all social media sites that thrive off the energy that the First Amendment has created. Freedom of speech, freedom of expression, freedom of thought, all right, freedom of the press. People treat social media like a public square where we all assemble and express ourselves, okay? And all these social media sites have made billions of dollars off of that. Mark Zuckerberg just last year defended the rights of the same people that he decided to ban. He called it giving people a voice, okay, to allow them to maintain pages on Facebook no matter how offensive they are. Mark, I agree with you. Why do I agree with you? Because if liberty means anything at all, it means the right to tell people what they do not want to hear. That's George Orwell, by the way. And yes, he's right. Let people talk. If you don't agree, that's fine, because when people say things that are stupid, guess who has to deal with that? Them, not you. All right? The reason none of these sites should ban people is because these sites make people believe they have the right to express themselves, but clearly we don't. But guess what? If people can share their opinions, we have the right to ignore them. We also have the right to make fun of them. We also have the right to tell them to shut the F up forever. We have the right to disagree. We have the right to debate. I personally think all these social media sites should ban ideas, not people. If someone is spreading fake news, snatch that fake news story down. If someone is presenting false information as facts and it's misleading, and Facebook fact checks and finds out it's fake, take it down. Mark Zuckerberg actually presented that as the reason they first banned Alex Jones' InfoWars. Let's listen.
So there are really two core principles at play here, right? There's giving people a voice so that people can express their opinions. And then there's keeping the community safe. We're not going to let people plan violence or attack each other or do bad things.
Right.
In this case, we feel like our responsibility is to prevent hoaxes from going viral and being widely distributed. Not to say you can't say something wrong on the internet, right? I think that would be too extreme. But at the same time, I think that we have a responsibility to, if you look at the top 100 things that are going viral or getting distribution on Facebook within any given day, I do think we have a responsibility to make sure that those aren't hoaxes and blatant misinformation. So that's the approach that we've taken. And if those fact checkers say that it is provably false, then we will significantly reduce the distribution of that content.
Why don't you want to just say, get off our platform?
Well, look, as abhorrent as some of this content can be, I do think that it gets down to this principle of giving people a voice.
I'm with that, okay? I'm not mad at that. Ban bad ideas, ban fake ideas, ban fake news. But banning people just because you disagree with them, I'm not with that, okay? What are we, 10? All right, it's easy to believe in freedom of speech for people that we agree with, okay? What Facebook did is childish, all right? You have a platform like social media where it's fueled by thoughts and opinions. Everyone is not going to agree, and freedom of speech includes the freedom to offend people, okay? Once again, Facebook is a private platform, private companies. Oh, it's a private company, okay? Not a private platform, a private company. So they can ban whoever they want, all right? They can censor whoever they want. But Facebook, let's make sure you are banning people because you want to and not because a large amount of people disagree with an individual, okay? Facebook, make sure you are banning people because you truly disagree with what they are saying, are spreading, and not because you are buckling to the pressure of the keyboard clan who is constantly complaining about certain pages, reporting certain pages, simply because they disagree. Now, two different conversations here. Two different conversations to be had, all right? One is Facebook banning people from their site. They can do that. They are a private company. They have the right, but I still think it's whack because if you truly believe in freedom of speech, then you have to believe in freedom of speech for views you don't like, all right? If you're in favor of freedom of speech, that means you're in favor of freedom of speech precisely for views you despise. That is Noam Chomsky. I think I pronounced that right. I'm not sure, all right? Saw Killer Mike quote him yesterday, and I love that quote. But that is why Remy Ma is giving Facebook the biggest hee-haw.
Hee-haw, you stupid motherfucker. Are you dumb?
Charlamagne the God here, and today's Donkey of the Day is brought to you by the law office of Michael S. Lamonsoff. Don't be a donkey and call my friend Michael if you've been hurt in a construction accident. 212-962-1020. That's 212-962-1020. Don't be a donkey.